3. So here a flexibility coefficient, you can see the last one. Here the flexibility coefficient is always a rotation. F32 is also a rotation. F33 is also a rotation. And F31 is also rotation. But these two are deflection. You can see this one are deflection. Now, since we have applied the unit force, when you write when I want to write the actual deflection, it is actually because of not unit load, it is because of A1. So can I multiply when I'm writing deflection here, just here, D11 is F11 times A1, because it is not in realistic structure, it is not unit load, it is because of A1. So if F11 is caused by unit load, how much is the force caused by, how much is the deflection caused by actual load? So it will be F11 times A1. So I have written F11 times. So this deflection D11, you can write notation same for deflection also. D21, D31, D12, D22, D32, D13, D23, D33. And I can write, okay, D11 is F11 times A1. D21 is equal to F21 times A1. D31 is F31 times A1. And similar thing you can write for the second and third. So I have written for your conveniency, I have written all coefficients. You can just have a look here. Then all the coefficients are written multiplying the actual force. Because ultimately we don't want to analyze for unit load. We want to analyze the structure for the actual loads. But to simplify, I have brought the concept of flexibility here, flexibility coefficients, so that it becomes, uniformly written equations, which will be very much useful for writing in a matrix form, and then which will also be useful in writing the computer program form. So it is much more easier, if it is just a matter of notation and just the understanding of how flexibility coefficients are being generated. And at the same time, we also want to use the superposition principle. So superposition principle, suppose now I want the total deflection here at 1 because of action A1, because of action A2, and because of action A3. I end up adding this equation. So you can see here, this D1 total deflection at 1 is D11 plus D12 plus D13. So here you can write, you expand this in the form of flexibility coefficient. D1 is equal to F11 times A1 plus F12 times A2 plus F13 times A3. Similarly, at this point, at 2, we want to write the, you can write this equation first and you can later on expand, whichever way you are comfortable. Later on, you will be able to remember this. There is no great deal in not remembering this. It is systematic, so you can remember, but don't mix up. That's what I'm saying. Don't mix up the quantities. Understand and write the proper notation when you are writing stiffness and flexibility. This is just the concept that we have. I'm trying to bring here. It is just a concept because we have still not solved the actual problem. We still have to solve the actual problem. We still have to discuss about stiffness also. This is about flexibility, how the flexibility equations are being generated. And this is left hand side is always deflections or rotations, and right hand side. So in short term, what is flexibility coefficient? Those are the coefficient relates the deflections and the forces. So deflections are always on left side and the forces are always on right side. But what are stiffness coefficient? Forces are on left side, A1, A2, A3. And deflections, D1, D2, D3 are on the right hand side. Those are the stiffnesses that we'll see in the next part. But second equation, you can write in a form of, okay, this is the equation. Second, you are using superposition equation, total deflection here, and here total rotation here. You can write in the form of flexibility coefficient. You can always I told you, you can always use this equation. If you are doing mistakes in writing, D31 is nothing but F31 times A1 because of A1 here. Similarly, D32 is nothing but F32 times A2 here applied, and D33 is F33 times A3 here. And together, D31 plus D32, D33 give you rotation at joint, at this joint you can get.